Hello everybody, BrosForLife here, back with another video. Now in today's video, we are going to be hopping right back into our series on The Walking Dead Season 2 podcast. Right along with our friend, Virtual Party Center.
I'm your friend? What?
Yes, you're my friend. Wow. Wow, I feel betrayed. I don't think you realize how much that hurts.
It's right in the heart. Feel it. Yep. Yep, I'm ready for episode 3 of the podcast.
All right, I guess we should just hop right into it.
Sweet. All right. Do you remember where we left off last episode? It started off with her. Was it Sarah peeing in the woods? Yes, it was Sarah peeing in the woods. I specifically remember that episode because I started it off and I was like, hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back. And then I'm like, what the heck is Clemmy doing? Just like looking at a tree. I was like, what are you doing? This makes no sense because you just got
Sarah
kidnapped.
was like, thanks for coming with me.
Thanks for coming and watching me pee.
Yeah.
Hey bros, can you come and watch me pee? You know, that's what friends do, right?
Yeah, sure.
So
wait. Oh, okay.
What
Yeah, and then there's Troy just sitting there.
I hate Troy. I legitimately hate him. Like, he gave me a Carver vibe, but like before Carver became Carver. Troy was just the a-hole of the season. That, like, I don't know how to pronounce this, or I don't know how to explain it. Like, Carver was Carver, but then Troy was just mean for no reason whatsoever that I could find.
I think Troy was probably worse than Carver.
Okay.
Well, no, I wouldn't go, like, well, not, you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
he was a lot more like, I don't know the word to put it.
I don't know what you're trying to, I don't
like. Carver obviously did worse things,
right?
But Troy,
Troy was just more of an a-hole about it.
He had this army type of voice that just, he was very scary. He
was scary. Carver was more of like a sedated anger, where Troy was just like, hey, you little s-hole, you know what I mean? Like, he was angry. He was just angry all the time.
Yeah.
And it was very just unnerving, but after we meet Troy, we get to go into the back of the car, right? We're in the back of the truck.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And that's when we kind of have to side with either the group or Kenny, because Kenny's like,
yeah,
I want to get out of here.
Yeah. And then he bonked his head on the door.
I thought he like got a concussion. I thought he was like out for a while there, but apparently he got right back up like nothing phased him because he's a freaking tank.
Yeah, exactly. He is a tank.
Mm-hmm. So,
and then Carlos makes that comment. It was for the better.
Well, there's that, but also in that moment as well, I remember this specifically. Carlos came after Clementine and said, Clementine, shush, you're just a little girl, you shouldn't have an input right here. And I'm like, wow. I was like, geez, dude, okay, calm down. But
that was kind of harsh.
It was.
Yeah, when he was in the truck, when we were on the truck, who were you siding with?
Kenny, of course.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, like the moment Carlos disregarded me as an opinion in there, I was like,
that's what made me mad.
I was like, excuse me, I'm a little girl, but I've been through more shit than you have in your life.
And we're the main character, so get wrecked.
Get wrecked, bro. Yeah. Yeah, I was fed up with him at that point. Then we went over when Kenny got, bombed in the face by the door. So that he got hit. That
was great.
And then we get to meet the Carver's official camp,
But also inside of the truck, we actually did learn a bit about Carlos.
Carver?
Carver. Yeah.
I don't remember what we learned about him. Can you elaborate a little bit?
Carlos was pretty much teaching us or telling us how they were there before and how worse, like what he does.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Now I remember. And we also, a point they have to kind of think about is if I'm sure everyone caught on to this that watched our playthrough, but Carver's Camp is the same place that everyone went that we got in 400 Days, where we, rounded up everybody at the campsite. And then Tavia was like, hey, come back to our community. And it turned out to be Carver's Camp, which was a terrible decision on mostly everyone's part.
Yeah.
So it comes full circle. It's really cool to kind of think about that. And when we first got to that area where we saw the people from 400 Days, what were your initial thoughts when you were walking around?
Well, I think I can't remember who we first saw. I think it might have been, it was Bonnie, actually. Yeah, Bonnie.
It was Bonnie. And then it was, well, for me, it was those two girls, the older sister and the younger sister.
Shell.
Yeah, Shell. It was those two. We walked by them in the hallway and they're like, who are they? Blah, blah, blah. And eventually I saw Wyatt as well, but I don't know if you saw them too. Who came with in your playthrough?
I think I saw Wyatt. And then I had one other person. It wasn't Vince. It wasn't Russell.
I honestly forgot who came through in my playthrough. I don't remember who was there. I forgot who came with me.
Who were the 5 people?
It was Shell, the girl, Russell, Wyatt, Bonnie, Wyatt. And then there was one more, I think, right?
Vince.
Little kid, little black kid with the nice
Russell.
hair. Russell, yeah, him.
Yeah. I guess I had Shell, and then it would have been I can't think right now.
I don't know who came with in mine. It's been so long since I played it.
Yeah.
All I remember for sure is that I saw
Shell and Wyatt. That's who came with me.
Wyatt, and that's it. I don't think Vince came with in mine, and I don't think Russell came with in mine, so that's why I didn't see them. But regardless, we saw them, and then almost immediately we meet Reggie, who we discussed earlier.
Right.
And he proved to us that you can get bit, take off a limb, and still survive.
Yeah.
So that was...
However, I'm surprised that in the truck, I'm surprised that Kenny didn't get a worse punishment for getting his cuffs off.
Yeah, he just kind of like, how'd you get your cuffs off? Oh, what the heck? Get out of there. It's like,
yeah,
obviously someone's trying to escape.
Lucky. That's very lucky.
Yeah, especially because it was, I just said his name. The angry man that's a little worse than Troy. It was Troy that caught him. You'd think Troy would be like smacking him around, but nothing happened out of that.
Yeah, especially when later in this episode, he smacks Clementine really hard.
Yeah, for like no reason. Didn't she just like say something back to him and he's like, don't talk back to me, and whacked her?
No, it was when she... Actually, I don't think it was 100% that you got smacked. It was when you got the choice to go and try and get help Kenny when he was getting beaten up.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, you mean like he smacked her with the butt of his gun?
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was rough, and I can't even imagine how bad that hurts. Like just right in the cheekbone.
That's how she got that scar. I don't know if it's necessarily a scar, but she had a cut there.
Like the cut, yeah. I think that is part of it.
Yeah.
But we met Reggie, and then inevitably we met Jane the same night, along with, what's the other guy's name?
Mike, I think. That was Mike.
Yep,
it's Mike, right?
Yeah.
Well. Okay.
So we kind of met the general group that we're going to be with for the remainder of the game.
And at first, everyone was kind of like, okay, Jane is kind of weird. But then we learned why she's like that. And it's a good thing. Because remember...
she's a good survivalist, right?
Yeah. And she figured out the same thing that Lee figured out back in season 1, that if you cover yourself in walker guts, then they don't bite you.
They don't sniff you. They can't bite you.
Right.
Which is probably the best survival tactic you can probably learn in the apocalypse.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll find any other good tactics in the story. That'd be nice.
Yeah, are you caught up on like the Walking Dead TV series at all, or no?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I won't go over anything then, because I was gonna say, if you are, there are some things that are in there that potentially could be in the future of the game, but
yeah,
I
do want to start watching that, because you said you do you have all the episodes on your Plex or no?
Every single one of them.
All right. I think they're still making new ones, right?
They are. They're on season 10, I believe.
Wow.
And that's a freaking crap ton of seasons. I'm only on season 9, so I have not caught up.
You're not
fully,
that far behind.
Yeah, I'm not that far behind. You are on season 1 though, right?
Yeah, I haven't even started it.
It's gonna take you a long time to catch up.
Yeah.
And especially if you're streaming and gaming at the same time, you're never gonna get there.
All right,
I would say take a couple weeks and just catch up.
Let's get back to our podcast.
Yep. That's fine. Where were we? What were we talking about?
We were talking about Jane and how we met Mike and Reggie and everyone.
Right, and I can't remember, the first night we started kind of going, okay, we need to make a plan to get out of here, or did we kind of just lay low and settle in?
That's the night where we took a little stroll with Kenny, and Kenny was telling us to find a few things that could potentially get us out. And then that's when, yeah, I was gonna say that we got Reggie in trouble. Oh, poor Reggie.
I feel so bad for him. Like, he was just trying to follow the rules, and he paid the ultimate price eventually for that.
We'll get there, but yeah, that was, man.
Yeah, I feel bad for him. But eventually we end up going to sleep after getting Reggie in trouble. And then the next day is really fuzzy for me. I can't remember what happens. All I remember are like the main events. We woke up and what happened?
I can't.
Oh, we can also watch in the video too. I'm on it right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing, but oh, that's also where well, for me, that's where we revealed, because Reggie was like, Carver isn't that bad at all, actually. And in my playthrough, I was like, well, he kills Alvin. So that puts him back. He also killed Walter. So I don't like Carver. So yeah, I definitely disagreed with Reggie. But then again, he probably hasn't experienced much. And didn't he say that Carver actually was the one that saved him? I believe, right?
Yeah. I think so.
I think so.
He said Carver grabbed him away from the locker, and I think he said Carver took off his arm too.
Yeah.
But then ultimately it saved him. So his version of reality is a little bit different from ours, because in our version, Lee cut off his arm and ultimately died. But in this version, Carver saved him, quote unquote. It saved his life.
And then later kills him. No.
And then later kills him, which is really dumb.
But it was also interesting because what was I gonna say? I just lost my thought of mind. But okay, you continue.
I am watching the morning, and this is when you are getting talked to by Carver in the morning in the group, and then Sarah talks out of turn, and Carver tells Carlos he has to discipline his kid. This pissed me off really bad. Like, I don't know.
This made me mad. However, I was kind of mad at what's her face? Sarah, because she kept talking, and I told her to shush. Yeah, so I didn't expect it to go that far, but like at the same time, I feel like it's partly Sarah's fault, but I don't think it should have gotten that bad. It shouldn't have gotten that bad.
So you're effectively saying it's her fault because in your playthrough, did you say something to her, or did you just let her keep talking?
I think I said, yeah, cool, and then I told her to shush, and then she kept talking.
Right, yeah. In mine too, I was like, stop talking, you were going to get us in trouble, but then she kept talking, and then she got in trouble. So me and you both did what we had to do to tell her to shut up, but she didn't, so...
Yeah. She also hasn't... She's been camped away in her little house during this entire apocalypse. So...
Yeah. She's been sheltered quite a bit.
Yeah, which is good, but also not good.
Right. Yeah, Carlos, I have an opinion. Like, if the world goes to shit and there is a zombie apocalypse, obviously your way of life has to change somewhat.
You can't continue living like nothing has changed, and those that you like shelter away from that is never going to learn how to survive in the new world. And that's what he did with Sarah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, hold on. My chair just broke.
What?
Yep. Okay. I have to be very careful or I'm going to fall back, but I'm good to continue. So let's keep going and pray for me.
Okay.
I don't break my back.
Oh no, Mitch.
So yes, Sarah was very sheltered, and yeah, that's pretty much the end all be all of why what happens to her eventually as well. Although there is a little bit in there that we'll talk about later.
Wait,
what
now
happens next after
before that morning, was it was that the night that Kenny was talking about his son, or was that the next night? That might have been the night afterwards.
His son, document?
Yeah, because I remember
What was he saying?
There was one night where he was reflecting and just saying, "Oh, I miss Duck, his dumb little smile." But that might have been the night afterwards.
Let me go back and check the night right here. Yep. Okay, I'm sleeping. I'm looking at the video right now, and
Yep, that's the night afterwards. It looks like, or a different night.
Yes, it looks like it's the night after, because when you're laying next to Kenny, all he says is, are you, if we're going to escape, are you going to be ready for it? And then you're like, heck yes, I am.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So continuing
Sounds
into the
good.
day, looks like you have a chat with Bonnie, and does that have any significance to it, or?
I think it kind of does.
It kind of shows that she's willing to potentially
Help you.
be on the side of good
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah. And that's what got me to trust her, because when I was talking to her, I kind of talked to about, like, if we were to escape, would you be there? And she thought about it for a second, and I don't know if she said yes. I don't think she said yes directly, but she said something along the terms of, like, possibly or something like that. So that's where I was like, okay, I think I can trust Bonnie.
There was a point, I don't remember exactly what was said between the two, but I think I said, like, she killed my friend Walter or whatever, and then she goes, I don't know, Bill was just protecting his people, or I don't know, that was an accident. She said something like that.
Yeah,
and I was like, stop.
She said it was probably an accident, and I was like, how do you accidentally kill someone?
Yeah, and then I'm like, okay, stop defending him first off. And then there's another part in the distant future where Reggie gets killed, and then she's like, oh, it must have been an accident again. And I'm like, stop that, first of all. I got so mad.
But then after that, I think that's when she was like, okay, we're getting you out of here. But
we're leaving tonight. And I was like, yes, let's do it. And for anyone that watches my playthrough versus your playthrough, they're gonna see a definite version of anger from my side that they didn't see in yours. You kept things kind of subtle. I was like, F you, Bonnie. Screw you. He's okay, or he's not okay.
I wasn't that mad, but I was like, Bonnie.
It got so annoying for me. And then especially later in the game in season 5 or episode 5, I was so pissed off at her.
Right.
We'll talk about that later though. And continuing after the chat with Bonnie, I am lost. I do not remember anything on what happened.
Wait, hang on. So Bonnie gave her that jacket. What did you think about that jacket? Did you like it?
I thought it was adorable. A little colorful jacket. It looks like something I could buy from a YouTuber.
I said I don't know, but that's kind of just because I think while I was playing that, like, me as a person wasn't in a bad mood, but in the game, I felt like Clementine was in a bad mood, and I thought, like, if that was me, and I'd probably be in a bad mood, I'd be like, I don't know about this right now. I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, exactly.
All right,
and then
see.
That's where Tavia came, and then I think we go up to the roof.
Yeah, I believe you're right. They take us up to the little garden, right? Tavia takes us up there to meet Sarah, who is like cowering after being slapped. And how did you handle that?
I was I think at that point I was literally face palming like, Sarah, you can't be doing this right now. I know you got smacked. I know it probably hurt, but you have to man up. I
Yeah.
was kind of mad about that.
I think I said the same thing I said, Sarah, you got to grow up a little bit. And
Yeah.
it's hard in that instance though, because you're trying to make someone grow up from like however old she is, 13, 12, to like the mentality of a 30-year-old in the span of like 5 days. And it's so much more difficult than people think, but she kind of has to, or else she's gonna die. And we all know what happens.
Yeah, right.
So yeah.
I did try and comfort her because I tried to make friends with her. She thought I was being good with it, but she wasn't handling the world situation very well at all, which didn't go well.
And okay, so when Reggie came in and told us to help with do the chores and make sure they're done right, what did you do? Did you help her or did you do your own chores?
I did help her. I did
my own. And so here's the thing. He legitimately, I got mad about this. He said, make sure this gets done. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. I'll make sure my stuff gets done. And I didn't know Sarah was gonna pout the entire time.
Yeah. No, and then she said, I don't know what to do. I'm like, it's not that hard. You just cut the dead branches off. I was so mad.
She
like,
yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sarah just gives me a headache.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you know what? Let's move on from Sarah and move on to what happens after Sarah.
Okay. So Carver comes in, and then after Carver comes in, pretty much he's like, Reggie, you're supposed to be monitoring these people and make sure they get their work done. And then after that, he says it's not Carver's. He says it's Reggie's fault. And I think Reggie should have been monitoring better and told her to, like, you need to do this or I'm gonna get in trouble, because Reggie really didn't say anything to.
He also didn't come back to check on them very often. Like, if you think about it,
I don't remember what he was doing. Was he just like sitting there?
Else. I think he went out to do another chore, but he also could have just like came back periodically and just said, hey, how's it going? And made sure everything was getting done.
Yeah.
And also, I think he could have been looking at Sarah and noticing that she's not doing her work and said, hey, Sarah, I really need you to do this, blah, blah, blah. He didn't do that. He just left.
Yep. And then, so Carver comes in and she's like, what's going on? He's like, what's going on here? And I think that's where I said she didn't understand what to do. And he says something like, oh, no, this isn't your fault. This is not her fault.
He's like, this isn't her fault. It's hard.
Down upon Reggie. Yep. Which I do somewhat agree with, but not fully.
Right.
At all.
Right. Because it was Reggie's responsibility to...
It's Reggie and Sarah.
Reggie could have done a better job at monitoring, although
his discipline was not needed.
The ultimate fault comes over to Carver, who punished him in killing him just for like a simple mistake.
Yeah.
So we're trying to like put blame on somebody here. The ultimate blame is on Carver and not on Reggie, not on Sarah. Sarah was going through something emotional. Reggie was just trying to do his job, and the ultimate blame lies on Carver because he's a psychopath.
Okay, can we just talk about Reggie's hairline?
Bro, don't talk about no. I'm getting there. I'm getting there myself. That's why I'm wearing a hat right now for my recording.
What the? Bro, yeah. I'm looking at Reggie right now. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. You're looking at his haircut. Here, let me see if I can pull this up. Here, hold on.
Oh my god.
I'm pulling it up. There we go. All right, let's go to right here. Game. All right.
Not even like
There's Reggie's haircut. I'm getting there. Slowly but surely, I'm getting there. Getting old sucks, bros. For real. So Reggie ultimately dies because Carver pushes him off the roof.
Pushes him off the roof.
And then we get to go explain that to Bonnie, right?
I would have grabbed Carver. And pulled him down with me.
I would have too. I honestly would have. You know, if I'm gonna die for this, friggin', he's going down with me. But you know, Reggie's Reggie, and he only has one arm.
Then again, I was about to say he only has one arm, so he can't really do much.
Then we go and tell Bonnie, this is what we were referencing before, that you know, Reggie just died, and she goes, maybe it was an accident. Like, okay, Carver's killed how many people now, and how many times can it be an accident? Senorita, you need to learn.
2 for you.
What?
You said how many people has he killed? I said 3 for me, 2 for you.
Yeah, 3
but
for
still,
yeah.
pretty bad.
How many times can you kill someone and it be an accident? How many times?
500.
Yeah, 500. All right.
In Bonnie's mind, apparently.
Apparently. So after we tell Bonnie, you know, what happened, and she's still on the fence, we end up going and meeting Kenny and Mike in that area, and we get attacked by the walkers, right?
I don't think it was it right after that. Yeah, I guess it was. Yeah.
Yeah, we get attacked by the walkers.
On the way.
And I believe that's also when we meet up with Luke, who takes us.
That's afterwards.
Oh yeah, after we meet Kenny and Mike and get attacked. Then as we're walking back, right?
Kenny was in a bit of a feud with Mike, and he should have calmed down a bit.
Right, Kenny had a bit of an anger problem the entire season, and
no, I think just in general. Maybe not since the beginning, but
ever since season 1 where Katja and Duck went away.
Yep,
I think that's what kind of changed them.
Probably.
I would agree. More so, yeah, I would probably say that's the moment we kind of snapped.
Also, that scene where Clementine was going behind that rack, that was scary.
You mean when she's getting attacked by the walkers?
Yeah, she went behind that bookshelf and then was trapped. I was like, oh no, we might be dead now. But it was a very in the moment
I
position.
kind of had a hope because both Kenny and Mike were in the room with her at the same time, so I figured someone would step in, but no one did. It was all us, which was really lucky.
And then Troy came in and he's like,
Troy's like,
oh, you should have handled it. No, he blamed Clementine for almost getting killed. He's like, make me come in here and save your butt. I'm like, okay. Yeah, that wasn't needed.
Troy's an a-hole.
Also, apparently there's a few things you could have done there. You could have yanked on the cord, which brought the light down and it went dark, or you could grab the screwdriver, I guess. I grabbed the screwdriver.
I cannot remember what I grabbed, and I already went to the next episode, so I can't go. Well, I can actually. Let me go here and let me see what I grabbed. Actually, I'm gonna be interested to find out the differences. You said you grabbed the screwdriver, right?
Yep.
Okay, let's see.
You could have also yanked on the cord and brought the light down.
I grabbed the ladder in the previous room. I'm on there. I grabbed the cord, and I think I brought the light down. Did I? I'm watching right now. I did. I brought the light down. Oh my gosh, that's so scary.
Wow.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
that's terrifying. Jeez.
So yeah, we both had different initial reactions right there. Yeah, that's interesting.
And then after the walker
that's when
attack,
we're walking back, and I think we end our episode right there.
Yep.
And then we start the next one with Luke.
Luke grabs us from inside the little comic shop, and that's when the plan begins.
I started biting down on his finger. You did too, right?
Yeah, I think I did too.
I feel yeah.
But that is when our plan starts up, right?
Yep.
The plan that ultimately leads to Kenny getting his...
I thought Luke, I didn't think he got bit, but I was like, Luke, are you okay? But then later after I recorded that episode, I was like, I forgot he hasn't slept in a few days, so it makes sense.
He looks bad.
Poor, yeah. You could see his eye bags under him.
Mm-hmm. He looked like he'd been bitten. He looked like Lee from the season 1.
Yeah.
But
it honestly did.
That starts in the plan of action where we'll get him a radio and get him things, blah, 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 to get us escaping. And that leads to what happens with Kenny. And that's the rather unfortunate side of everything.
But what happened after we talked to Luke? He told us to get out of there, and then what? I can't remember.
I'm kind of looking at it right now. It looks like we get to go back to... Oh, we get to go to talk to Carver. He said Carver wants to see you in his office.
Hang on. After we got out of that shop, what did you say to Troy? I said something really, really stupid.
I said I got scared of the walkers because they, obviously they came in and broke through the wall before. So I thought a reasonable excuse was, hey, I'm scared of the walkers. I popped in here to hide from them.
You want to know what I said?
What did you say? Look at comments.
I was looking at comments.
Hey, just reading some books while I'm supposed to be working.
Oh, that's funny.
Hey, I agree with you. Comics. Hey, I would escape to see those too. Don't worry, bros. I'm on your side here.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. So this is where we go to Carver's office.
Talk to Carver.
And this is where I run into Wyatt.
You run into Wyatt, and I believe
Wyatt's like, "Hey, you should probably get going." I'm like, "No, duh."
We had a split up here with our stories because in mine, Alvin is there in the chair being like tortured by Carver, and in yours, what happened?
Rebecca was talking to Alvin, and Alvin made her cry.
Oh, I think the same thing happened in mine, where she like came down the stairs crying as you walked up. Yep. So the same thing happened in there. When you walked into the office, was there anything off? Was there anything happening?
No, not really.
Okay, so it was just kind of mainly, it's a difference of Alvin is in mine being tortured in the chair versus yours, where you just go and see him.
In your video, I saw that. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so... Like, he looked so bad.
Mm-hmm. He had been through a ringer, that's for sure. He had blood all over his legs, his coat, his neck, his face. Like, he had been through some shit.
For me, when I walked in there, when I walked in that room, Carver said he needed to talk to me. And he said, I would start behaving or else you're going to end up in that chair over there. I was like, oh shit. He legit told me if I don't start behaving better, I'm going to end up in that chair, which now that I know what happened to Alvin in that chair, that's like, oh my God.
That makes total sense. Holy crap.
Wow.
Carver isn't playing, and that's one of the scariest things about him is he will legitimately torture and kill you if he says he's going to.
Mm-hmm.
And the sheer fact that he says he's going to is scary enough, but
yeah.
I don't know.
And then that is also where he starts talking to us about. Here, you go ahead, because I've been talking for a while. Do you remember what happens?
I think he kind of like says, hey, you've got what it takes to, be like me, right?
Yep. He says, oh, you're a lot like me than you think.
I think he was trying in that moment to like convince us that, what he was doing was the right thing. He was like, I have what it takes to survive, and so do you. But in that moment, we also said, or at least in my playthrough, I said, I'm not like you. I don't murder people for fun.
And I think he said something like, we'll see about that or something like that. I was like, whoa.
He definitely has an approach that, we didn't go through, but ultimately that was a moment where he was trying to mind control us a bit there.
I'm trying to think if there was anyone like as bad as him from season. I don't think there might have been.
From season 1?
There's obviously those people at the farm. They weren't as bad, but they ate people. I don't think there was anyone as bad as Carver.
Let's see. So you're talking about the dairy farm, right?
Yep.
Dairy farm. I mean, they seemed like nice people, but they just had a secret. And then once they got out, they were like, haha, you're going to die too. Carver just seems like an a-hole himself, and then he's actually like going in and killing other people around you, which makes him seem even crazier than anyone from season 1. Who was there? I mean, season 1 had the, I guess, the dairy farm, and they had.
Then I think everyone else was mainly part of the group.
Yeah, part of the group.
There was a few random people, like at the end, there was that one guy, you know who I'm talking about? I can't really think. There was Vernon's group, the Raiders, with the archers.
You mean like the stranger guy that we took the stuff from the car?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just creepy. He wanted to kidnap Clementine, and he was just creepy overall. He wasn't like dastardly and murderous. He was just creepy.
Same. Yeah.
I would say Carver is, up to this point, the most
top.
Diabolical.
Yeah. Yep.
After we meet with him, what happens? I don't remember.
I think after that, it might be, it's nighttime after that, and that's where we have that plan to escape.
Is that really already? Holy crap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. So what? I'm trying to remember the initial plan. Didn't somebody say, there was an argument saying, we have to leave tonight or we have to leave right now, or they were saying we need to stay here and kind of map out our plan.
I think they were saying we should leave in the morning.
Leave in the morning and get Luke the radio, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So
But then there was also Kenny. I think Kenny was the one that was saying we should use the radios in the office.
Radios in the office to lure the horde, right?
So, yep.
And that is ultimately the plan that we went with, and it turns out it worked, except let's talk about that as soon as we get to it. After we talk about the plan, then we have to work on Clementine getting the radios. And this part was, I think, the most stressful for me in this episode, because I didn't know if I was going to get caught or not, and it was all up to me to find the radios and get back to the group to make the plan successful at all.
Just imagine if you got caught there. The outcome had to have been horrible.
Had to have been horrible. And the whole group, I mean, ultimately, we know Kenny was the one that got punished for it, but the entire group would have been punished if Clementine got found out there, right?
Definitely, I think. Yeah.
So Clementine gets the radios, and then they go to bed, and that's when they had that talk.
We forgot to mention something very important.
What did we forget?
This is actually where... while they were talking about getting the speakers, I think Kenny said, Rebecca, I think, was saying that we need a better plan. Like, how are we going to get out of the horde of walkers? And then Kenny said something like improvise. And they were all like, no, if the end of the plan is to improvise, it's not a good plan. So that's when Jane pops up and says, you use the walker guts as a body armor, pretty much.
Yep. Okay. So we did miss that, and that was one of the more important parts because it shows how we're going to escape, and it works. It works because we know in season 1 when we
came to Clem.
Mm-hmm. That's how they escape the marsh house and get into the back of that truck or whatever they were in. Not the truck. Wasn't it a store, or maybe it was a truck? I don't know.
It was a pawn shop, I think.
A little pawn shop or something, and we know what happens there. But it shows that, covering yourself in walker guts works, and you can successfully migrate through a horde and them not attack you. So we have a plan at this point, and then Clementine has to get the radios. And then this is the moment where everyone's going to bed, and we have the talk with Kenny about Duck and the kids. And when he was saying that, what were you thinking?
I mean, I obviously felt sorrow for him. It was definitely hard because we had moments with Duck, Lee. As we played with Lee, there was that great little bonding experience with Detective Duck. Yeah, man, that was a good experience. So I definitely we knew who Duck was, and we had some good experiences with him. So we knew how Kenny felt there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we definitely felt the same empathy for him that he was feeling. And that's the thing about Kenny is we've been with him the longest, so we know what, I guess, when he's talking about these experiences, because sometimes when people talk about things like, oh yeah, this happened to me in my past, you're just like, oh man, I feel bad for you, but you didn't live through those experiences, but we did. So
And that's like, even in real life, a lot of times you think like that. Like, someone will say something bad that happened to them, and you'll say like, you obviously feel bad like them, as you said, but you don't know how they feel exactly. So this was a good experience with that talk.
We got the whole feeling, the whole circle came around, and we knew exactly what he was feeling because we lived through it with him. And then the next morning, I believe,
that's when Mike and Clementine and Kenny were all fighting over who should take the walkie-talkie. Clementine and Kenny were saying Clementine should obviously take it, and then
Mike was like, no, this little girl.
Yeah. I mean, where were you standing on that point?
I don't know. In my mind, it made sense for pretty much anyone to take the walkie-talkie, but then again, me and Luke had been the only ones that talked at that point, right? Or no? You remember?
No, we talked it over remember, like that night before, Rebecca and everyone else was saying that Luke stopped to talk to them.
Oh,
as
right.
Well.
Okay, so yeah, then at that moment,
Luke did talk to everyone before
I was
that,
probably like, I don't know, maybe just Clementine takes it because she's the kid and she would seem the least suspicious. That's probably what I went with.
I think that's how I was thinking back then as well. But now because even then we knew who Carver was, but even after that, he does a lot worse stuff. So we didn't know the entire extent of Carver. So I think that's where we like now I feel like I probably would have said someone else, because if we did get caught, luckily we didn't, but if we did happen to get caught like as Clementine, I think it would have been a lot worse outcome.
I'm very curious. Did you ever go back and like watch the choices of this or no?
I don't think I did this one, no.
I'm curious because I'm assuming that regardless of the choices you make, you end up with the walkie-talkie because, I mean, if Mike has it, think about Kenny would have no reason to be like, hey, I have the walkie-talkie after, Carver calls him out on it. And Mike would be the one that gets punished, and Kenny would not because he's not trying to protect Clementine, right?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that regardless of the choices you make, you end up with the walkie-talkie and then Kenny has to protect you. If there is another outcome, that would be amazing to see, but I doubt it.
I don't think there would be.
Right.
Just because also, I think you had to choose right before then, and I think probably if you would have said, let's go with Mike doing it, that probably would have been as soon as Troy came out, and then that's when Kenny just puts it in your pocket.
In your pocket, yeah, that's what I was probably assuming. Then as soon as, What?
Go ahead.
No, you go. That's fine.
No, you go.
Oh, I was going to move on to the next part where we walk out and go see Bonnie.
Well, yeah, okay. So as that happened, I wanted to just point out quick how Kenny made the dumbest excuse right there. Your pockets were, what did he say?
He goes, oh, look at you, your pockets are all out. And I'm like, what the heck, Kenny? And then literally Troy says, whatever. And it's like, okay, obviously, if someone said that in front of you, if someone was like, oh, look at your pockets and stuff, would you question that?
Yes, I would. Yes, I would.
Literally, what the heck, dude? But Troy's
First
an idiot.
Off, why would that matter? Or why would that matter if your pockets are out?
Doesn't matter. No
one's gonna care about that.
Troy is just an idiot.
I mean, Kenny partly is there.
That's right. Eventually, we left off right where we go and see Bonnie with the walkie-talkie.
Yes, that's right. So did you show her about the walkie-talkie and tell her about it, or
I did
you?
I trusted her.
I did. I kind of questioned it I think you kind of questioned it at first, actually.
I think I was kind of like, do I trust her in this moment? And then ultimately I decided, yes, maybe I should, because she was on the fence, and then it worked out for me.
Yeah. Oh, remember, actually, we we were supposed to go with Kenny and Mike actually, and Bonnie pulled us aside.
Yeah, she's like, hey, can you help me out with something quick? And then everyone's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, it's okay.
But-
and then I think she was talking about leaving actually, or something.
I think so.
I
Or
can't remember here.
maybe, I can't remember exactly what she
I'm gonna
said.
try and pull it up where you're at.
Let's see. I am right there. Okay, yep. Now let's see what the subtitles say quick. She's like, come on in. You can talk to me if something's up. I was dishonest when I first met you, but I swear on everything holy that'll never happen again. And that's when I said, Luke is waiting for me to give this to him. He needs it. So that's what she was like, basically apologizing for, her distrusting you. And that's when I was like, okay, well, here, I'm going to trust you real quick with this walkie-talkie.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I did the same thing. So yeah, that makes sense what she was saying there.
It does.
And then after that, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, I was going to say that's when the holy grail of moments happens, right after we talk to Bonnie.
Yeah.
She says that she's going to help us get out. But then we get where we suddenly hear Carver screaming, and he wants to know who stole his walkie-talkie. So this was quite the moment in the story for sure, because it had quite the effect. And ultimately, if you want to go ahead and run down your feelings when it was happening, that would be a good opportunity to do so.
Oh, you're talking about when Carver was beating Kenny?
Yeah. What were you feeling?
Man. I was very enraged. Well, okay, before that, that's when we went to go find Luke, right? Or did you already mention that?
No, didn't we? Oh wait, you're right. Oh my God, I totally blanked.
That's when Luke was gone.
Yes, we did go and try to find Luke, and then Luke was missing, and that's when we heard Carver getting mad, right?
Yep.
Okay, so yep, I totally blanked again.
Oh my gosh. I'm at the point. Oh my gosh. Troy literally grabbed Clementine by her ponytail.
Not my Clemmy Clue.
That is horrible.
I'm watching, or I'm trying to find it. When did he grab her by a ponytail?
Well, right after we're in that place where Luke is.
Oh, he did? Oh yeah, he like freaking grabs her and thrusts her, and I'm like, stop,
Yeah.
I'm right at the point where Kenny gets started to get smacked.
So yeah, this is where we come in here, and Luke is in here, and this is where everything starts going wrong.
This is where tables turn.
Now, when he asks who had the walkie-talkie, did you start speaking up, or?
I think I did. I think I started to say I have it, and then Kenny just ripped it out of my hand and said I have it right here.
Same here.
Honestly, because of the way he talked to me before when he was like, you have what it takes to survive, I was thinking maybe that would give me some points to like not get attacked or punished as hard.
Well, that's actually smart thinking right there, but I still think he probably would have abused us very bad.
Probably, or told Troy to do it, because Troy's a butthole too. So
Man.
when Kenny was getting attacked, I pretty much, in the moment, I thought Kenny was dead at that point. I thought Kenny was going to die, because obviously, think about what happened with Reggie and how little of a situation that was, and now he has a obvious like treason. Someone's trying to plot against him, and that's what I thought. I thought Kenny was a goner.
That was... And Kenny was so calm about it. I felt so bad. I think I almost started crying when he was starting to get beaten up. I was like, that was just such a hard experience.
It made me feel it made me feel like one of my like relatives or like siblings or family members were being beaten to death in front of me.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now. That's so hard.
And well, obviously
Rita goes trying to help, and Carlos stops her, luckily, because... Now, did you go and run up to Kenny and tried to stop
I did.
him, or...
Yep.
Yep, same here. And that's where he punched. And then luckily Bonnie came in and she stopped it.
Oh, she did. Wait, I'm watching right where I say help Kenny. And I run in and boom, he hits you with the butt of the gun right in the face. And Kenny's getting the literal beaten out of him. And then you're right, Bonnie comes in and says, that's enough. And that's also when Bonnie says, we're leaving tonight.
Your face is so mad.
I'm so pissed at him, dude. I was so mad because, like, holy crap.
Well, I'm just sitting there almost crying.
I was so mad.
We have almost opposite reactions. Wow.
Yeah, like.
But yeah, no.
I just wanted to take Carver and, like, it sounds demented. I wanted to do what he was doing to Kenny.
Wow. Oh, Kenny gets payback. I'll tell you that.
Oh, does he? Oh, I don't remember what happened with that. So
I didn't watch that happen. You did.
I did watch it.
And we'll get there because yeah, we'll get there. But oh man.
I chose to let Clemmy see that. Maybe I shouldn't. But yeah, like you said, we'll get there. And yeah, after Kenny gets his beating, we talk to Bonnie.
That's where we're all sitting in the around the campfire.
Yep.
Oh, and I'm watching you. Yep, Nick is there. For me, Nick is not. So.
Oh, poor Nick.
Oh man.
I'm also kind of thinking, like, during all this time, is Alvin just dying in the chair, or is he, what's happening with him? Because he's in the chair. Is Carver torturing him more, or is he just sitting there dying? So
I think he's just sitting there.
I'm
not positive.
Leaping away, I guess.
Yeah.
Then yeah, you're right. We're walking around the fire, and that's
but
when.
Then remember, everyone is. I can't remember those. Oh yeah, everyone was saying, except I think Luke was saying, the main person that was saying, we can't leave tonight if you're seriously thinking about. And then he says, if you're seriously thinking about doing this, we might need to start talking about leaving someone. And I got so mad right there after he said that.
Yeah, leaving Kenny behind.
Mm-hmm. And then, Carlos says there's no hope for the eye. He might have a bad brain injury. And then that's when he says, Kenny comes out of nowhere and says, what does he say? I can't remember.
Let's see, I'm looking at it right here. Let's go back and take a look and see what he says. I think everyone is saying, yeah, they're saying we might have to leave someone behind, and then Kenny comes out of nowhere and says, good, well, you won't have to. And then that's when everyone's like, hey, Kenny's alive. Good freaking God. He looks
Your face looks so happy. You're so happy at that moment.
Bro, I was crying. I was tearing up. I was tearing up a little bit.
Same here.
I was
honestly
so glad he was alive, and he was still his normal self. And you can never know with brain injuries, because people might be a little, messed up on that side.
Especially after that, Carver's fist of steel, and then
it gave you another. Steel.
Yeah, it gave you another option to hug him. Did you do that? Because I did.
Of course, you can't pass up an opportunity to hug Kenny.
You can't pass an opportunity to hug Kenny.
This
always
is a moment where our stories also had that separation, because we got tasked to go to the intercom room, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You had that talk with Alvin. Yep.
And when you went to the intercom room, what did you do? I don't remember what you did that differed from my playthrough.
I think really the big difference was, did we do the same things, except you had a talk with Alvin, or?
I think I had a talk with Alvin, and then Alvin ended up.
Did you turn the radio on?
I did. I turned it on. Yep.
Okay, then yeah, we did the same things. Mine was just shorter, and you had a different way of getting out.
Okay, yeah, and then I remember Alvin took Carver's little pistol and then shot one of the guards that was coming my way. and he saved me and ultimately died in the process. So regardless, he died in your episode 2, he died in my episode 3, or is it 4 or is it 3? It's 3. And regardless, he was kind of a hero in both circumstances because he gave his life to protect the group, quote unquote, each time, but mine was just a little bit more sacrificial, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's the moment right there where things started going downhill for Carver, because now the Horde was heading towards his camp.
Yep.
And what were you thinking? Do you think the plan was going to work out at that point, or are you thinking it was kind of chaotic?
I was thinking that I for sure thought that something horrible was going to happen and something was going to go completely wrong.
Okay, and did you think what was going to happen to Carver would happen to him?
I don't think I did.
Okay.
Also, I have it's funny because I have both of our videos on my second monitor. They're literally in sync with each other.
Yeah.
And except when you walk into the room, we both walk into the room, I go over to the radios and you go over to Alvin. And actually the thing is, when you go to talk to Alvin, he's actually not he's unconscious the first time you walk in and go talk to him.
Right, he kind of just wakes up at that moment, which it seems like fate in a way, because that was his moment to shine.
So it looks like after we both have that complicated thing with the radio where the CD is gone, and at that point I was like, oh no.
Out.
Yeah, I thought Carver was gonna come in, and if you look through the window of his office, you can see that all of the good bad people, they're bad people to us,
right?
But good Carver people, I guess.
Yeah, they are all scrambling around, right?
Yep.
That was an intense moment because I had the same thing where the CD wasn't there. I was like, crap, what do I do?
Yeah.
What do I do?
Yours was longer though, because Alvin came out of nowhere, found his glasses, you had that nice talk with him.
Yep.
And yeah.
I ultimately got to tell Rebecca what happened too, and then, she says kill him. When we have that moment where we jump on top of him, what happened? It was the same with you?
So there was 2 things you could have done there as well.
Oh, tell me.
You could have apparently you have a gun in your pocket somehow or something.
What?
Or I'm not sure, but there was an option that I saw with a gun. And
interesting. Maybe okay, so I know there was a gun in Carver's desk that Alvin used to shoot that guard, but it could have been
for me. Okay.
Yeah,
I think if Alvin was dead, you had the option with a gun and you could have shot Carver.
Really?
Yep.
Ooh.
I saw that on an All Choices video as well. So that's interesting.
Yes, that's definitely interesting. I'm guessing the outcome is the same though, with Kenny beating his face in with a crowbar. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you watched that, and that was brutal.
Yes, it was. At first, I was like, yes, let's watch what happens to this a-hole character, but I did not realize how graphic it was going to be. So
yeah,
like I said in the playthrough, after seeing it, I probably would have chosen to at least, being me, I'm 24, almost 25. I'm like, okay, that's I've seen shit like that on the internet already. I'd be fine with it, but having a little girl see that, let's not do that again.
Yeah.
So I think you had the better choice there, where you kind of skipped over the graphic of that because, in reality, like we were mentioning before, you're growing up in the apocalypse. You're going to see some stuff, but if there's a chance you might want to keep some of your, innocence, you may want to choose to do that as well.
Yeah. Exactly.
So after Carver dies, we move on to the escape.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a moment for you where one of your characters gets taken from us, right? Or one of your favorite characters?
It's both of us, isn't it? Oh, well, yeah.
Who are you talking about?
Carlos.
Carlos, yep. I mean, I liked Carlos. He just wasn't one of my favorites because he kept making these dumb decisions, and more so, I liked him, although I didn't like the way still he like doubted me in that truck, and that stuck with me because I was like, geez, I see where I stand with you, bro. You think my opinions don't matter because I'm a little girl, and obviously in that moment, Kenny was like, I'm with you, so I'm like, I'm with you, Kenny, too. So that is what it is.
You're making definitely some great points, but I think if you look past all that, I think Carlos and Carver, they're different people, okay?
Yep.
They're different people, Josh. Get this out of your head. Yeah, so Carlos, I think if you look past all that, I think he did all that just to protect Sarah.
He did, definitely.
If you think about it.
Right.
So
imagine him as a non-apocalypse dad. He probably would have been great. Or he was great until the apocalypse came around, and then that would happen. So yeah, I see exactly what you're saying. Like in the moment, he was trying to be a protector for Sarah, which ultimately he goes, okay, I'm going to try to protect the group. And then he goes, I'm going to try to protect Clementine by telling her, hey, you know, your opinion doesn't matter right here. It's the adults are talking. But then again, Clementine is not his kid, so he can't say that to her in a way too, right?
Yeah.
So Carlos ultimately gets the bullet. He ends up dying. But this is also where we find out, or we get to test out the theory of cover yourself in walker guts and try to escape.
Yes, and this is where Clementine was used to it, so she took it very well. Sarah, on the other hand, she freaked out so much about that.
Sarah, of course, the anti-gross Sarah.
Always Sarah. And then Jane's just taking it. She looks like she's done it a million times because she says she does it every night.
Yep.
But it's like she looks like she's done it like, I don't know.
She looks like she wakes up in the morning, does it for breakfast, and then washes it.
Yeah. Oh, and then Troy comes along. Oh boy. Good old Troy.
Good old Troy. And then in your video, you completely skipped over this. Like you cut this out of the game itself, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it, or do you not want to?
You can go ahead and talk about it.
Okay, so
I'll let you talk about
for people that didn't get to see it in, Josh's playthrough. So essentially, Troy comes out and he's like, "What the heck are you guys doing?" And then Jane was like, "Hey, Troy, we talked about this. We're gonna get out of here." And Troy is like beyond belief, going, "What the heck are you talking about? I thought you meant, get out, like spend some time in the actual, the shop and not actually out in the wild and whatnot." And then out of nowhere, she's starting to try to convince him, and she ends up just pulling a gun and shooting him right in the pee-pee.
Yeah.
And the zombies come over and start eating him alive right in there. So that's what you missed out in Josh's playthrough.
Yeah, I just thought that was too brutal to leave in mind because a lot of my audience is kids.
Right. So. Yeah, that is a little brutal, and that definitely it goes into.
That's also why I started cutting out cusses in my channel, because again, I'm a child personally still, and that means a lot of my viewers are kids. So
you have a responsibility to kind of keep it PG because you know who's going to be watching you, etc., etc. And that makes total sense. But then after Troy gets shot, he gets starting to get eaten. Then we suddenly see that the rest of the remaining crew for Carver are up on top of the roof using their assault rifles to shoot down at us. And that's when panic starts to set in.
I think actually the whole group gets split into two. It was three groups actually. I think Rebecca and Jane. It was Mike and Kenny.
Yep.
Me and Sarah, and then Carlos was there for a tiny bit. And
Carlos was there. Yeah. And Carlos got ultimately shot by one of the crew members on top of the roof, and that's also when Sarah started to freak out. Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yes.
But Oh, I feel so bad for her.
I couldn't.
That's in the middle of that, all that craziness just, and then after that, Sarah runs off in the woods, and this is where we come up upon Sarita.
I think we made. Did we do different choices, or did we do the same choice here?
I think we did. Yep. You took off the, or no, you didn't take off the. I took off the arm.
You took off the arm. Okay.
Did not go well at all.
Oh my God. That
She started screaming, and then
didn't she get eaten right there?
Yeah. And then for you, it actually lasted quite a while.
What do you mean?
Like Sarita, you left. You took out the zombie,
right,
to try and save her for a little while, and it worked. She stayed up until that point in the
future
part.
Yeah, episode 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, in the moment. So here's what I thought. My thought process behind the whole thing. You can go over yours as well, because this is the end of the episode. We kind of want to know what our thought process was, and mine was, she's being bitten. I want to know, or I mean, not I want to know. We're in this chaos situation, and I said, okay, if I was getting bit, I would not want someone to chop off my arm and then I'm still left with being in the chaos as I'm bleeding out. I was thinking, okay, maybe I could kill the creature and then escape out of there quick, and then someone could cut off my arm, because then that we know it saves people. But they didn't do that for some reason, and that was my thought process on why I didn't chop off the arm in the process.
And that was ultimately the better decision.
Tell me what you were thinking at the moment.
So the reason I cut off the arm is because, I guess I wasn't really thinking about how we were in all this chaos at the time. We were obviously inside of it. I probably should have been thinking about that more. But really what I thought about mostly was what Reggie said, and that was, if you're able to cut the arm off as soon as possible, then you're able to live through that. So that is probably what made me cut her arm off.
Right, yeah.
I was thinking more about that, other than the fact that we were in the in the middle of a giant horde. So
it's definitely something that it crosses your mind. You're like, she's being bit. If we take it off now, she survives. That's the first thing that I did also think of as well. But then my survival brain kicked in as well, and I'm like, oh my God, we're still in the middle of this friggin' hellfire right now. We have to get out first. And I honestly thought they would take the arm off right after they got out, but they didn't. And I honestly don't know what happened. But that wraps up episode 3 of The Walking Dead, and Carver's arc is officially done with. And the next next 2 arcs are kind of sad. Oh, what?
I'm gonna switch to my choices screen. That way everyone can see what I did.
Good idea. Let me do the same thing here.
Just, again, give a quick summary of all the choices at once.
Yep, I like that. Go there, turn this on, and go to the game. Perfect. All right, let me go here and boop. Cool. All right, so I got my choices up. Let me know when you're all ready to go over them.
You can go ahead and start reading them off.
Perfect. Okay, so episode 3, In Harm's Way. Compassion helped Sarah with her chores. We know where this went. I did my own work. You did
your own work because
that's what I thought I had to do, because Reggie told me to do it.
I did help Sarah because I think I guess the main reason I did this was just because I knew where she was. I knew where she was, in her point of view, her mind. She wasn't in a good place. She just got smacked across the face.
Right.
So it's I thought helping her out would be the better choice, which, I mean, I guess either way, it didn't go well at all.
I think either choice makes sense because you want to help your friend and be there for her. But then again, the other choice is, you do as you're told and help or get the work done that Reggie told you to do, or else he's going to get in trouble. So either one works out just fine.
Okay, this next one is interesting to me. Trust, told Bonnie about Luke. I did tell Bonnie about Luke, and you did too, right?
Yeah, I did.
Dude, that is so interesting.
That so many people didn't.
Yeah.
I wonder how it plays out.
How much is that? 40, 43, 50, 60.
It would be 64.
3.5.
Yeah, 63.5, right?
Wow.
I'm honestly curious how that plays out then, because I wonder if she ends up trusting you in the end or not, because you still tried to hide it from her at that point.
Wow. I'm actually kind of surprised that we were on the lower end of that.
Most of this entire episode, look at all, I mean, I don't know if you were on the upper end of some of them. For the next one, it says admitted to stealing the walkie-talkie. What did you do? Did you try to speak up as well?
Yeah, we both did. And that's another one where...
Wow.
Yeah. How much... Do the math, because my math brain isn't working. Yeah, okay, there you go. I just did a ton of exponents homework, so give me a break.
If you wanted to be extremely accurate, it's 66.7, but, just whatever.
But yeah, I'm very shocked that more people didn't. But at the same time, I get it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, part of me, at the same time too, if you didn't speak up, maybe he would have never found out. And, well, that's a thought process you could have gone through. Like, if you didn't give it up, then maybe he just, well, no, he's a psychopath. He would have started hurting everybody. So I don't know. I don't know how people could.
Either way, I think, I am curious what happened if you didn't even start to say anything.
Right.
But at the same time, I feel like Kenny probably would have got beaten up either way. Because actually, in my channel banner, Kenny is actually one of the characters I have. Because he's probably
my gosh.
And that's when I had my channel banner made.
I remember that.
I actually did not know where that bandage came from on Kenny.
I thought Taylor just photoshopped that onto him to make him look badass.
That's what I was thinking as well. But now that we've played season 2, that makes so much sense.
Yes, it does.
And that's
crap.
Yeah. So if you guys actually go and look at my my YouTube channel banner, it actually has Kenny as one of my favorite characters, video game characters to ever exist. And that he is actually on there, and he has this bandage on him. And that is what the bandage is from. The bandage is from, I'm assuming, probably season 3 as well, if you chose to go with him. Right?
I'm curious how they're gonna do that, because if you think about it, this is gonna be really weird, and I don't know how they're gonna handle this. Think about it. Season 1 ended, and then everyone ended the exact same way in season 1, and they were able to start the exact same way in season 2. Season 2 ends, and you have multiple endings. So how are they gonna pull that into season 3?
Endings. There's 2 things. There's one where you can go alone.
Right.
Actually, I think there's a lot. There's 5 different ones. I think there's 2 outcomes with Jane, 2 outcomes with Kenny, and 1 with you, or 2 alone actually. So it's a lot of different. I'm very excited to see how this plays out for just not even our choices, just because we had the same one.
Right.
So
I'm excited because in a way it helps us branch into the next season, because we can also just be like, hey, we're picking up where we left off, and we're gonna have that, I guess, same scenario where we went from season 1 ending to season 2 start, where it's the same, so it helps us with our continuity when we're continuing our playthrough. So yes, that's really nice for us. Regarding the rest of the choices, did you watch Kenny kill Carver? You didn't. I did. You were on the side of people that didn't. surprisingly, and that makes sense in terms of people wanting to keep their innocence, right?
Yeah.
And or maybe they're just running a family-friendly channel and didn't want to see that. So.
Well, no, honestly, I didn't even okay, when I saw that, when you had the choice to, when the choice got brought up,
yeah,
I didn't think it would be that. I don't think any of us expected it to be that gory.
No,
at all.
No, definitely not. I thought he was gonna hit him once in the head, and then
shoot.
maybe shoot him or something. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I really don't know, but I personally did not want to see that because I thought it would be a bit gory either way. It's obviously going to be gory. You're watching someone killing another person, so
right.
It's obvious gonna have some gore in that, but
Yep, and I kind of regret watching it on my own as well. I mean, for me, me as Mitch, I don't care that I saw it, but having Clementine see it is another story for me. I really wish I wouldn't have had her see that.
Yeah, because again, it's a
little girl.
What is she? 13?
I don't know how old she is. I'm not going to look it up in case spoilers for future episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
We're just going to kind of go off 12, 13.
I know at the end of season 1, they were saying how she was 9.
Okay, so
because
maybe 10.
that was that one guy that kidnapped her or whatever was saying, and then Lee said she was 8 or 9.
Oh, right.
And
right.
then that guy was wrong. Her birthday was a few days ago. So I think she's either 9 or 10. But then at the beginning of the thing, it said 18 months later. So she's probably 11 or 12 at this point.
Okay, so 11 or 12. Yeah, that range would definitely be in the range of I do not want them to see a face getting beat in with a crowbar.
Yeah, his face was completely gone.
Yeah,
completely.
It was.
Yeah.
It was scary. I didn't like seeing that.
Yeah. So yeah, and then the final decision, chopped off. What does that even say?
Chopped off
I can't
Sarita's
even
arm.
read that. There's a thing above that's so blended in with the background. I don't know, but yeah, chopped off Sarita's arm. For me, it was
a lot higher than mine.
Yeah, that's weird.
So I guess people had the same thought process as you, and they were thinking, yeah, if we cut off her arm right now, she lives. And then it ended up. It ultimately ended up killing her, and then Kenny blames you for it too, which is...
He does later in the...
I don't think that was fair of him to do at all. Because you were trying to save her.
I was, yeah.
You didn't get a chance to even explain yourself either, that you wanted to, make sure she survived the bite, but...
kept talking.
Whatever. Yeah, I'd say...
But yeah, that wraps it up.
That wraps up episode 3 of the podcast, and I want to say thanks everyone for watching so far, and we're definitely going down memory lane with these. It's been really fun.
I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah, and we're definitely diving deep into the weeds as well, getting our feelings out on the table too. So with that being said, I want to say thanks for joining in. Catch us for episode 4 coming up shortly,
and season 3.
And season 3 when that comes as well. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, letting us know what you thought as well. And yeah, with that being said, thanks for joining, and I'll catch you in the next podcast. See ya.
All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss episode 4 of the podcast, as well as season 3 coming up very, very soon. You're not going to want to miss the premiere. And with that being said, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I really, really hope you all enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace!
Bye!